there's something to be said in regards to expectations. There is something to be said in regards to expectations. Before I get into this, I'm going to let you guys know right now, this is not going to be a feel-good conversation. This isn't going to be, oh, we're going to get better, or, oh, it's there's always next week. It's going to get bad. I'm letting you know right now. So if your feelings are going to get hurt and you're a Bills fan, leave right now. Don't even watch the video. Even later, if you watch this when it's not live, leave right now. I'm letting you know right now because you may hate me when this is all said and done. With that said, I'm sure just like all 51,000 people that ended up watching the stream last night at some point, seeing what happened with Aaron Rodgers. So first and foremost, we do want to wish him a speedy recovery. We hope that he can heal and he recovers from that injury. We do wish Aaron Rodgers the best. With that said, Josh Allen, I'm completely disappointed. I am completely disappointed in a quarterback who has been in this game for 5 years. We have rooted for you. We have watched you in your downtimes. We have watched you triumph. But for you to go out there and step on that field and pull the same bullshit that you pulled over the last 5 years. We had a conversation. We got to talk. It has to be understood that Josh Allen cannot recover from mistakes. He can't make a mistake and then learn from it. He has to make a mistake and then live in that moment for a whole 4 quarters. You throw a pick, you pick your head up, you run some play options, you do some running plays, you do some slants. You don't go out there again and throw 60-yard bombs after you throw a pick. Guess what? The chances of it happening again is very high, especially against a defense like the Jets. I'm sick of having the same conversations in regards to Allen, him holding his head down, him taking fake accountability. No, we got to look at this thing from the top level too, because to be honest, Sean McDermott should be fired. There, I said it. Get rid of him. He's too soft. He's incapable of getting this team together to go to a championship. I said it. He's soft. He's the kind of quarterback that say, you know what, guys, it's all right. We lost this one. We'll get him next week. No, you don't need that. You need hard conversations. You need tough love. You need somebody to grab your helmet and ring it into you to go out there and be great. That's what you need. Not the soft side that Sean McDermott and the soft conversations that we get in post-game conversations after the game. We don't need that. We've had it before. We don't need it anymore. Let me hop in the comments real quick. Nancy says, I need a joke today. Breaking news. Josh signed a contract with Sara Lee Advertising Turnovers. Filled with apples. Filled with apples. Shout out to you, Nancy. Michelle says, ain't no hating going on. Fully amazing all the way around. Timo says this is going to get very still to the pavement conversation. Yes, it is. It is. It has to be. Listen, I just feel like they've made the league so soft. Obviously, you don't want players to get injured. You don't want players to get hurt. But where is the gridiron football at? It's all, hey, we're going to pay these guys hundreds of millions of dollars, and they can go out there next week and bomb, in which we're going to have a conversation about Joe Burrow too, Timo. Yeah, I'm on your ass today because guess what? Joe Burrow shouldn't be in the top 3 conversation either. Not after the performance he just put on. They want to flame Allen, and guess what? They flamed Allen a whole lot worse than what they flamed Burrow, and Burrow had the worst game. Are you kidding me? But we know why. We know why, because it's the Bills. But so we're so used to this hate that the Bills get that we accept it. We know what to expect. But guess what? When it comes to Burrow having a bad game, it's just a bad game. He'll be all right. But when Allen has a bad game, guess what? Super Bowl conversation is over. The window's closed. Let's talk about it. Don C says, was Dable better with Josh? 100%. When Dable left, I feel like a piece of Josh left with him. And that's the reality of it. He wasn't getting as many turnovers. Dable left. I mean, he was getting the turnovers, right? Because for some reason, Allen has to be hero. He has to play hero ball, in which I get it. That's his play style. But he needs to focus. He needs to work on playing a little bit more conservative. He needs to understand that he doesn't have to throw the deep ball. Yes, it's there, Josh. We know you got an arm, but throw it when you know they're going to receive it, not in a triple coverage. It's stupid. And plain out, it makes you look like you don't know what the hell you're doing. But you know what? We can blame this on Josh, and we can go back and forth about his arm and all that kind of stuff. How about the decisions that the Bills have made over the past few years, right? How about instead of getting rid of Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, who was great on the team, to trade for Nyheim Hines, which you see how that worked out, and actually create a package for them that could lead to them being great, and we have an offensive run game that could actually be viable for a season. How about that? So that you can work on Josh Allen as a quarterback and develop his presence in the pocket. How about that? Shout out to ESB Matt coming through with the $2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. It is much appreciated. Yeah, let's talk about that. Right? We could, like I said, we can go in about Allen. We could talk about Stephon Diggs being a diva. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Lion,
let's talk
I
about
appreciate your streams, brother. Go Lions, Lion.
Let's to understand how we move forward, right? To understand history and to understand the future, you got to look at the history, right? So last year, this was November, Bills lost 17-20. All right. Allen had 18 completions on 34 attempts, 205 yards, two interceptions, was sacked 5 times. Had a QBR of 67.4. You ready? Josh Allen had the most rushing yards at 86 on 9 carries. Devin Singletary had 24 yards. James Cook had 15 yards, and McKenzie had 9. Let's get into receiving. Stephon Diggs, 5 receptions at 93 yards. Gabe Davis, 2 receptions at 33 yards. And you know what's interesting to me? Out of all the games that we won, Gabe Davis always has more receptions and more yards. But when we lose, he always has low receptions, low targets, and low yards. So maybe let's balance who catches the ball. And let's not focus on how Stephon Diggs feels because he's not getting enough touches and he thinks that he can win the game by himself as well. Because he can't do it. It's got to be a team effort. So I don't care how Stephon Diggs feels. He needs to understand how the team feels and play team ball. But this is the conversation that y'all didn't want to have. This is the conversation that y'all didn't want to have. So now let's go ahead. Oh, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get into yesterday, 16-22. As far as our stats, Allen, 29 for 41. 29 for 41, 436 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Cook, 46 yards rushing. Allen, 36-yard rushing. Murray, who did pretty good in preseason, so I don't know why they didn't go with Murray. Why run the offense through Cook? And which I'm kind of still wondering why Cook got so many receptions in the first place. What are we doing as far as offensive coaching and planning? What are we doing? Diggs, 10 receptions, 102 yards. Is anybody else going to be targeted? No, not at all. Because we have to baby and coddle Stephon Diggs so he doesn't leave, so he doesn't want to get traded. And then if you've seen that, if you looked at when he scored that touchdown, Josh Allen runs over to him, pats him on the butt. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, you got a touchdown. Do you feel better about yourself? Because we're only winning by 13 now? Really? What did I say in the prediction video that so many people got mad at me about? I said our defense sucks and that we need to score at least 35 points to win the games. Did I not say that? No, Jay, you didn't say that. You didn't have that conversation already, Jay. You didn't say that. No, let me pull it up for you because I know I said it. I know I said it. Some of you don't know I said it because you don't watch all the videos. I get it. You're here for the lives, and you may have just been seeing the stream now because this is what's going on. But I'm gonna go back to when I said it so you guys see it. Let me go back and find it. I drop a lot of videos, so I gotta go back. I do apologize. But this is very, very important. Here we go.
At Amica.
Let me get through the ad. Hold on. We got to get through the ad here, and I got to skip it so YouTube doesn't penalize me. All right. Bills want to win. Let me go back here. We gotta go back for the proof sometimes. Here we go. This was, when did I drop this? This is 12 days ago, ladies and gentlemen. You see it. 12 days ago. This was the prediction, Jets, Bills. Here we go. They're going to have to outscore their opponents. We need to score 35 points a game. Our offense has to be so efficient and so great that we can overcome the defensive issues to win these games. And that's the reality of it. I don't care about the matchup predictor. I don't care about how great you think somebody is or how bad you think somebody is. That's the reality of it. If the Bills want to win, they're going to have to outscore their opponents at a high level. Isn't going to get it done. To overcome triumph, to overcome adversity, is what will persevere this year to get us the wins that we need overall. So guess what? Bills, we have to score over 35 points a game to win. Because I'm here to tell you right now, our defense probably isn't going to get it done. You want some reality? There's some reality for you. We need to score 35 points. So there it is. So when someone says, "Oh, Jay, you're biased. Oh, Jay, you just big up your Bills." No, I tell the truth. I don't just sit here and have these conversations with you guys and talk about all these teams and then big up the Bills. I have the hard conversations and the hard discussions that we need to for every team, including the team that I root for every Sunday, because that's what I'm supposed to do if I'm going to be in this specific business. But that's the reality of it. And it's really a shame that I had a conversation with my girl before the game started. I said, I'm concerned. I'm not worried. I'm not scared. I'm concerned because I felt like that this was one of those games where Allen was going to come out not ready. The defense was going to come out and allow those big yards big runs that we seen. Breece Hall looked absolutely amazing. I got to give credit where it's due. Breece Hall looked absolutely amazing, and it was almost like nobody could stop him. And if he wouldn't have ran out of gas, guess what? That's a touchdown. He's taking it to the house. So if it wasn't for his injury, that man would have been gone, and that would have been a touchdown. All because our defense was sleeping and not paying attention, as usual. And how about even after the punt, right? The punt return. Defense just gave up. Just let them walk in. Everyone stopped playing. Oh, they'll kick a field goal anyways and win it, so let's just let them get the touchdown. Guess what? I'd rather lose by 3 than 6 because I gave it my all in the end. That was piss poor by the defense. It was terrible, and they should be ashamed of themselves. That's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. Let me get back to these comments. Let's see here. What's up, Camp? Shout out to you, yo. What's going on with you? Ryan says Justin Jefferson gonna out Diggs in a call. Man. Cam Vloggy says, hey Jay. Nancy says Jay has a Diggs tone today. I gotta have that tone. Gotta have the tone. We gotta have the conversation. We gotta go over the stuff. ESB Matt says Josh Allen has an amazing talent. He needs to develop and he needs to do it fast. Exactly. But there is no he needs to develop. He should be developed. He should already not be making the same mistakes that he was before. Ryan says, what happens if Dak gets destroyed against the Jets and lose? Well, that's going to be another conversation we're having, right? Because we're going to be completely honest here. And I don't care if you're a Cowboys fan or not. You know that Dak was held up by that defense. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Jonas says, Jay, this is what happens when you make videos of Dak when the whole time it was your own quarterback for that video. Stop it. Stop it. I'll make videos about Patrick Mahomes. I'll make videos about Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Geno Smith. I don't care what quarterback it is. We're going to talk about them every day, every week. It doesn't matter who it is. They all will come and have to be in front of the congregation, my friend. All of them. All 32 of them starting. Gerber says Diggs was a head case in Minnesota, so glad he's gone. Jags fan says tough loss to take. Yeah, it's a tough loss to take. Jonas suggests defense has gotten a lot better. Sheila says, Jay, you've always said that many times. There you go. Gary says, thank you, Jay, for telling it like it is. If Bills can't learn from their mistakes, the Bills are going to have a bad season. Exactly. What's up, bass player? Ed Ryan says, can people finally realize that Allen isn't on the level of Burrow, Mahomes, and Hurts? You want to get into this Burrow conversation? You want to do that? We could do that. I mean, let's go ahead and get into Burrow since you want to do that. He wants to get into this conversation. All right. Burrow had 14 for 31 on attempts, 82 yards. He averaged 2.6. He had 2 sacks, and looks like he ended with a QBR of 20.3. Is that the quarterback that you're saying is better than Allen right now? Right? If everybody's on the chopping block this week, then we have to address this accordingly. We're not going off past hardware and past accolades anymore. We're going off of right now. Right now. And if we're going to go off of right now, then this is what we're going off of. 28th in the league for QBR, your superstar Joe Burrow, who just got paid $200 million. That's what we're going to go off of. We're not going off of last year, the year before, projections. We're going off right now, week 1. Burrow's better than Allen? No. I don't think so, sir. Not right now. Allen's better than Burrow, though. Even though he took that ridiculous L last night and made all those mistakes, He still looks better than Burrow, and you got to eat that one tonight for the whole week. The difference is Joe was injured. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. When you step out on that field, you are expected to perform. If you are injured, stay off the field and go heal. We're not doing that. We're not making excuses anymore. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you're injured, stay off the field and go heal. Let the backup come in and do his role. That's what he's there for. If you want to go out there and play your game and you want the accolades and you want to be known as a superstar, then you go out there and ball when you put your feet on that field. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses. Not at all. Not at all. All right. What do we got next up? We got to go ahead and get into how many picks did Joe throw? 0. But how many touchdowns did he throw? 0. 84 yards of offense. 84 yards of offense. So there you go. Next up. Is Aaron Rodgers' career over? Is his career over? Aaron Rodgers has a torn Achilles tendon, ladies and gentlemen. An MRI has confirmed. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has tore his left Achilles tendon Monday night's win over the Buffalo Bills, sources said Tuesday morning, ending his season only 4 plays after it began. Coach Robert Saleh painted a grim picture after the game, saying they suspected a significant Achilles injury. It's not good, Saleh said. Rodgers, 39, a 4-time MVP, went down in the Jets' fourth snap of the game when he tried to spin out of a sack by defensive end Leonard Floyd. His left foot appears to get caught in the turf and his body twisted. A slow-motion replay showed his left calf, the same calf he strained in OTAs, reverberating as he went down. The Jets will move forward with Zach Allen as their starter. He'll be the guy, Saleh said after the game. They also have journeyman Tim Boyle, who is on the practice squad. They expect to add another quarterback. Rodgers' injury also will impact the 2024 draft. The second-round pick that goes to the Green Bay Packers from the Rodgers trade would have become a first-round pick if Rodgers played 65% of the Jets' snaps. So there you go. Zach Wilson will be the man now for the Jets. But let's talk about Rodgers for a minute. Let's talk about Rodgers. So many people got mad at me when I said that, he looked a little slow. He looked a little lethargic. And I get it, right? If you looked at the time that he was in, me personally, I didn't see that same old Rodgers. I definitely seen a change in his step. And I'm not sure if he was working out his legs and things like that. I'm not sure of it, right? All I know is the man came in. He was ready to go. He looked slow to me. Now, guess what? Age is eventually going to catch up with you. And that's just the reality of it. Age is going to catch up with you. The same age caught up with Tom Brady, who we obviously would want always to be great, right? You want to see that person go out there, ball, relive those glory moments and go out there and be amazing. But guess what? Age will eventually catch up with you. And you may still be able to throw that ball 50, 60 yards with accuracy. You may be able to still read that defense. You may be able to be mobile in that pocket sometimes. But guess what? Something is going to catch up with you. And it's really unfortunate that it had to be for Aaron Rodgers yesterday in regards to his Achilles. But when it's your time to end the game, it's your time to end the game. And sometimes if you don't decide to leave the game when when your body's telling you to, it will make you do it. It will make you do it. So the bottom line is this. We are wishing Aaron Rodgers a speedy recovery. We hope that he does fully recover from this injury and would hopefully end up back on the field. But if not, the reality is this. Zach Wilson is going to be the man for the season now. While I'm assuming that the Jets will be looking for an alternative veteran for this team. Don't think that Zach Wilson is going to be the man in New York. I'm going to be honest with you, he's not. He's not going to be the man. They're going to find another veteran who's going to be able to come in there. Obviously, there's been jokes and conversations in regards to Tom Brady. It's not going to happen. But there's a few people to come to mind. I mean, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz. Maybe get Andrew Luck on the phone. I'm just joking on that one. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be conversations in regards to talks as far as who they choose, but they're definitely going to bring in another quarterback as far as for these Jets. So Vincent says McDermott is not that guy. Already discussed that. Timo says Ben Roethlisberger signs a 1-year contract. Not Ben. You might as well bring back RG3 too, yo. Just bring back Robert Griffin. Give him a chance, Bring over Gardner Minshew. Why not? No, it's really tough though. It's really tough. And at the end of the day, I don't think anybody expected this, especially Jets fans. The amount of oxygen that was removed from the stadium last night when Aaron went down was absolutely unbelievable. And it was so crazy because we're streaming the game and I'm literally watching the numbers go down as Aaron went out, which was wild to me too because it was like, dang, well, how many people were really Jets fans before Aaron went over there? I'm not hating on you Jets fans at all, the real ones. But how many people were just Aaron Rodgers fans or were just there to see what Aaron Rodgers was going to do on the Jets, right? You had the people that wanted to see him excel and obviously lead the Jets to a victory and more. And then you had some people who wanted to see Rodgers fail, a.k.a. Packers fans. I know, I see y'all. I ain't going to say nothing, but we know. But there were people who wanted to see Rodgers fail. And when he went down, there was not a shortage of memes. There was not a shortage of jokes. There was not a shortage of people who really was okay with that. And yes, nobody should be wishing ill will on anybody. Nobody should be like, hey, I want to see somebody get injured because I hate them because they left my team. Or I want to see somebody get injured because I want their team to lose. It should never be that case. And I tell you guys time and time again that I always want a team to be at 100% when we're going in there and we're playing these teams. From Mahomes to Burrow to Rodgers, anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. I want that team to be at 100%. And it just sucks because I really wanted to see fully healthy Jets against a fully healthy Bills, and we didn't get it. So, to be honest, even though the Jets did win, everybody lost. Everybody lost. And that's just the reality of it. Kaepernick comebacks. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That'll never happen. Troy Aikman is ready. Yeah. So is John Elway. Tennessee says same with Favre when he went to New York. Get Johnny Unitas on the phone, yo. My goodness. Shout out to you guys. Vincent said Breece Hall is him. Never seen a person come back from an ACL tear like he did last night. Without a doubt, Breece Hall was amazing. And like I said, you got to give credit where it's due. The Jets defense, exceptional. I won't say they played at the same level as the Dallas defense because Dallas has probably the number one defense in the league right now. But Jets are definitely up there. I'd have to say I'm doing the power rankings video tomorrow, so make sure you be on the lookout for that. But right now, just off the brain, I'd have to say that the Jets defense is probably top 3 in the NFL right now. Top 3. Without a doubt. AIF says, imagine they call up Brady. Brady was actually in New York playing basketball with his son. So it's kind of interesting, right? They showed that earlier. He was playing basketball with his son in New York. I just don't see Brady going to play for the Jets. The Nathaniel Hackett situation and Robert Saleh, I just don't see it happening. And you gotta look at it this way too. Like, I just don't feel like Brady is in any shape to come back. I just don't see it happening. That man would need a year probably back in the gym, year back in training. You know, there's a lot that goes into playing football. You guys should know that. And especially for someone of Brady's age, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I could be wrong. It could be something that we hear about in a week from now and everybody's going crazy over it. But the chances of that, I think are really slim. Really slim. Camp says, do you think Rodgers got an injury in the preseason and played it off cool? It could be true, right? It could be the same thing for Burrow. We know that he injured his calf. He chose to still get out there and try to play through it. But it could be the same for Rodgers. And listen, at the end of the day, you got to remember, these quarterbacks play through injuries all the time. That's why I said there's no excuse for Burrow. I don't want to hear he was injured and that's why he played terrible. I don't want to hear that. Because if they choose to get on that field and play, that means they found themselves capable of saying, you know what, I'm going to go out here and still win. Because that's what the game is all about. You can't say if they won, oh, yeah, they did amazing even though they had an injury, right? Are you going to put the asterisk on it then? It's only an asterisk when they lose, right? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, they're great when they went out and won and then be like, oh, well, they were injured, so that's why they lost. You can't do it. And that's just the reality of it. Shout out to Cam Bloggy. He says, yeah, it's always good to listen to your body. 100%. If you're not listening to your body, then you're not paying attention to the most important thing. For sure. So, it's going to bring us to our next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, our next segment. There's a dark cloud over Buffalo right now. There is a dark cloud. Buffalo is in complete shambles. From losing to the Jets 16-22, issues at defense. Josh Allen, questionable as far as his decision making. But today, an article dropped in regards to Mr. Terry Pagula and some racist comments. Now, obviously, all this stuff is allegedly. There's a lawsuit going on, so I have to throw that word out there. Allegedly, right? We don't know if any of this stuff is facts yet, but we're going to go ahead and obviously get into it and then talk about it. All right, so Bills owner Terry Pagula made racist comment. Lawsuit alleges Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pagula allegedly made a racist comment about black players in the NFL, according to a racial discrimination lawsuit against the league filed Tuesday by longtime reporter Jim Trotter. Which, listen, this is really weird to me because why would this drop the day after the Bills game? Why would you wait till now? But let's keep it going. Trotter alleges in the lawsuit that in 2020, a fellow NFL media reporter recalled a conversation he had with Pagula, who was speaking to the reporter about the NFL's social justice initiatives and Black Lives Matter. The reporter, who was not identified in the lawsuit, told Trotter and approximately 40 other NFL media coworkers during a Zoom call that Pagula said, if the black players don't like it here, they should go back to Africa and see how bad it is. The lawsuit states that Trotter, who was black, pressed NFL executives at NFL media to investigate Pagula's comments, which were highly offensive and racist, but that he was repeatedly brushed off and told that the league's office is investigating it. Pagula has denied making the comment. The statement attributed to me in Mr. Trotter's complaint is absolutely false, Pegula said Tuesday in a statement, and I am horrified that anyone would connect me to an allegation of this kind. Racism has no place in our society, and I am personally disgusted that my name is associated with this complaint, end quote. The lawsuit also mentions Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who allegedly told Trotter in 2020 that if blacks feel some kind of way, they should buy their own team and hire who they want to hire. Jones' comment allegedly was made during a conversation with Trotter about why teams have so few black decision makers. According to the lawsuit, Trotter, who describes the exchange as rather contentious, stated that Jones ultimately suggested that he and Trotter should agree to disagree about the NFL's issue with race. Neither Jones nor the Cowboys have publicly commented on the lawsuit's allegation as of Tuesday afternoon. Trotter's employment at league-owned NFL Media, which oversees the NFL Network, ended earlier this year. The lawsuit filed in the United States District Court for the South District of New York names the NFL Network as defendants and alleges that Trotter was terminated because he challenged Commissioner Roger Goodell and others regarding the NFL's record of race discrimination and lack of diversity. The NFL issued a statement disputing Trotter's allegations. Before I get into this, listen, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And here's the thing. Here's the problem with using the word allegedly and allegations and all that kind of stuff. Until you actually have proof of stuff, and this is the problem we have with the media. This is the problem we have with. I'm just going to throw it out there. Some people are going to be mad at me, but certain situations with the Me Too. Now, I have always said that obviously, if someone does something, they deserve to be prosecuted for it. But it should not be very easy to say somebody did something and then their career is ruined, the reputation is destroyed, and then later on, after the money's lost, after the endorsements are lost, the accolades are lost, it comes out that the person who accused them of something, they're lying about it. And I feel like that should go either way. Either way. It should not happen. But here's the response. It says, we share Jim Trotter's passion for quality journalism created in and supported by a diverse and inclusive environment, the league said. We take his concerns seriously, but strongly dispute his specific allegations, particularly those made against his dedicated colleagues at NFL Media. The NFL said Trotter's contract was not renewed as a result of business decisions made to address a challenging economy and changing media environment. Okay. So that's where I throw up the red flag. All right. A challenging economy and changing media environment. So, okay, let's look at the first half of that. A challenging economy would mean that you wouldn't be able to pay your NFL quarterbacks $270 million. You wouldn't be able to pay Nick Bosa $170 million as a defensive player if this was such a challenging economy. Okay. The NFL is $1 billion business, so we can't really go there. But the changing media environment, sure, I'll take that one, right? It's word salad at this point, but I'll take that one because guess what? Everything's switching over to streaming, and if you don't have a platform, which is why you guys see like things are changing around YouTube because everything's going over to streaming, and now YouTube has to deal with the NFL. That's how things work. Things change there. I get that, so that could be a reason to use it. But when you throw in a challenging economy, I have to question that. And I'm sure a lot of other people are going to question that when they look at this and say, well, that statement doesn't make any sense. That's not a reason to fire somebody. You're the NFL. You guys are making billions of dollars. Let's not talk about that. Make another reason. It's going to continue to go on to say Trotter is seeking unspecified damages and also calling for a full-scale investigation into the discriminatory and or retaliatory animus of all persons in position of power within the NFL, including the NFL team owners. So listen, to be honest, it's a good thing because we've seen the situations with John Gruden. We understand the situations that happen with the Commanders. And, there's there's things that obviously go on with these owners. There's conversations that are had. There's emails that have been leaked that lets us know that the issues that have been going on and the conversations that have been going on, that words that should have been said. And, yeah, there should be an investigation in regards to certain things going on. But the real question is whether or not these things were said. And I would like to see some proof, before I can make a true assessment as far as, judgment, and we get into that as far as, how I really feel about it. And we go from there. We talked about the Jerry Jones picture last season, right? That came up. That's always a thing. It always happens every once in a while. Jerry Jones picture pops up and we start talking about it. But I dropped a video about that. It got about 6,000 views, something like that. And, we got into the Washington Commanders and Dan Snyder and his issues and his problems. John Gruden and the Raiders. Right? Like, something always comes up no matter what. So is it too far off? No. Do we need proof? Yeah. That's where we're at. And that's where I'm at. So there it is. There it is. Ryan Devlin says, how can the league be racist when 80% African American? So here's the thing, Ryan. And since we're able to have an open conversation here, and you guys know I don't hold back anything, it's not essentially in regards to the league specifically being racist, but there could be individuals who are racist, right? It doesn't matter if 80% of the league's African American when they're playing for teams that are owned by certain individuals, right? So, Jerry wasn't growing up in the 30s unless just because he was in the picture. Once again, a bunch of hearsay. Yeah, I mean, we had that conversation. We talked about it. Jerry Jones gave a lot of black players second chances that most owners would never do. Well, we're not going to go there, Jonas. All right. We have to understand that they need the players for the talent. All right? They need the players for the talent. There's a reason why they're hired to play. There's no second chances in a sense. There's always money involved. There's money involved. Let's not use that word chances when there's money involved. It's not how that works. So, Jod had emails. That was his email that got him busted. Exactly. So, Sheila says, exactly, Jay. Jerry looking out for Jerry. Exactly, right? Listen, here's the bottom line. Okay? It doesn't matter if you own a football team. It doesn't matter if you own an NBA team. It doesn't matter if you own a soccer team. At the end of the day, you want to win and you want talent. So you're going to get the players that is needed to win and bring your team a championship, and you're going to pay them and you're going to make sure that they get the accolades and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter how you personally feel in your heart in regards to anybody, from the staff to the players to the coaching, none of that. And guess what? You own that team. So you can play favorites in regards to who you want on that team and where you want them and who you want coaching and who's in your executive staff and who's right under you and all that stuff. That's why there's all these conversations in regards to diversity and inclusion and all that kind of stuff. So yes, to a certain degree, right, we don't want witch hunts. We don't want people that are just going to go out there and say things are happening that aren't happening. But also, if someone is in a position to where they have power and they're abusing that power while they are ahead of a team that's predominantly, let's say, African American, and they do have different views and different traditions, and they do come out to be exposed to be that kind of individual, then it's definitely something that should be brought to light. And we have a conversation about it, because guess what? I don't care who you are. whether white, black, Asian, Chinese, it doesn't matter. If you're a white person, I'm sure that if you found out that your boss, who was African American, was racist, you're probably not going to want to work for them. And if you're a black person, you find out that your white boss is probably racist, you're most likely not going to want to work for them, no matter how much they're paying you. And that's the reality of it.
Yo, Jay, are you doing this Pittsburgh game Monday?
Shout out to you, Jacob. Yeah, man. Monday night, bro. You know what? Monday every night. Thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. Thank you for the support. It's going to be a great game as well. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's just the reality of it. And that's where we are right now. You know, it's very easy to hide things. It's very easy to keep things quiet when you think nobody knows about it, or when you think your emails are secure. And then when these emails come out and someone says some garbage that they thought was a joke or that they thought was funny, when they're ahead of 50 people and it's diversified in all different religions, all different traditions, and, you know, different people, multicultural teams, you're probably going to want to have that person to have some understanding and compassion for who they're around. That's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. Sheila says, racism is still here. Unfortunately, Jaguar owner gets called some of the most racist crap ever. Listen, we know racism is still here. We know that. Listen, there's times that when I was a kid, I dealt with racist situations. The first situation that I dealt with that alerted me to racism happened when I was about 7 years old. I was 7. Things still happen to this day. Although it's a little bit more subtle, but I know I'm smart enough to spot the difference. But that doesn't change who I am. That doesn't change my thought process. That doesn't change my moral character and my traditions, my values, and how I see people, because I don't see color. I treat everybody the same based off their character. But everyone doesn't think like that. Some people are inferior, think they're inferior to others, and some people are just prejudiced. It's just the reality of it. Shout out to Ryan, yo. You guys are ridiculous. Oh, man. Bass player says, go Browns. Papa Shorty says, how about them cowgirls? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a great show today. Tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and drop the week 3 power rankings, and we'll also get into our predictions for week 2. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be great. Obviously, you know, we get to these tough conversations, but hey, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. But this is what's going on. This is what's going on, and this is the reality of things. And whether or not you care about it, it's good to understand it. It's good to know what's going on, and it's good to pay attention, because there is a lot of things that goes on behind closed doors. So there you go. Quick shout out to the Wrench Gang. Quick shout out to the family. And much love to all you guys. Have a good day, everybody. Peace out.